Oh, and by the way, in case you were wondering, I wrote this on... There's a few business cards that I just keep right next to me on my desk all the time. Is that for something like a booker over on television, Ron, to try to get you on Comedy Central or something like that? No, it's my veterinarian's card. I keep my vet's business card right next to me, just in case there's an emergency. If Lucy gets sick, she's gotten sick before over the years, I have a breakdown. Then after I have my breakdown, I call my vet where the breakdown continues. And then I go to the vet where the breakdown still continues. I've had to apologize a couple times to a couple different vet techs over the years. They're very understanding people. One time, a cat that used to be my cat is no longer my cat. It wasn't Lucy, but he got the crystals, and that's a thing that if cats get it, if you don't give them an emergency surgery right away, they die. And I pretty much had a breakdown at the vet, and I was not very patient with the technician, and I apologized to her profusely, and she was very understanding. She's like, look, you're going through a really intense thing, and I get it. You're suffering. I didn't take it personally, and I forgive you. And and then I started crying, and she gave me a hug. But anyway, always know your local vets, know where the emergency clinics are, and thank you profusely. They are amazing. You're right, Tim. Fortunately, my vet also can be an emergency stop, so I'm very lucky in that regard. I have a good vet here where I live, and I'm lucky. Rebecca says, my vet's name sounds like her anus. Hey, all right. And some of you guys are bringing when you had to put your animals down, and yeah, putting your pets down is very rough. I had a friend of mine that had to do it recently for one of her pugs, and I felt, it's rough. It's very rough. And Nathan points out, not all pet clinics are created equal. Nathan's very right. And I'll say this, stay away from Banfield unless you have no choice. Stay away from Banfield unless you have no choice. They are the Walmart of care for your pets. They are the Walmart of veterinarians. They are unethical, and they are shady. Are there some good veterinarians that probably work for them? Probably, because in rural areas where you have no other choice, there's a very good chance there's some good, because a buddy of mine, when I was calling out Banfield, he said, look, I know somebody that works there. She's an amazing vet. I'm like, look, I understand there's some veterinarians. They might not have another choice. That might be the only place that can employ them because they're in a rural area and there's no other options. I get that. But overall, if you have choices, stay away from Banfield. If you have no choice, I get it. But if you have choices, stay away from Banfield. Stay away from Banfield. Stay away from Banfield. Stay away from Banfield. They're predators. Yes, there are vet franchises, Sylvia. There are and I recommend staying against them. Mike says, I worked at PetSmart for 8 years, listened to Ron. And Mike, PetSmart does which I have nothing against. I sometimes get my litter from PetSmart. They have good prices on the litter I like to use, and the litter that I use is hard to find, so usually I can only get it from a larger company like a Petco or PetSmart, because I use a walnut-based litter that's not easy to find everywhere. But yeah, PetSmart does contract with Banfield, and even the people at PetSmart don't like Banfield, by the way. I've experienced that. The people at PetSmart generally don't like Banfield. But the fact that they contract with them is problematic. So if I got to support one of the big guys, I actually will try to go to Petco where my litter is a little bit more. But I'd rather, support an entity that has nothing to do with Banfield. Ron, don't use pet litter. That's what your bathroom is for. If Lucy was younger, I would try to toilet train her. I've seen it done, and it's actually, you can do it. You totally can. And props to all the people that do it. But yeah. Wendy, our vet, comes to our house. I used to have one of those. Those are awesome. Mobile vets are really, really cool. I had a mobile vet for a while. It was when I lived in Tennessee. I don't think they have those in Southern California. I don't think we're built for it. But yeah. And Chris Wynn points out there's a local pet store where I live, and they treat their animals horribly. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's possible. I'm sure that happens. You know, it's just generally, you know, the local vets and the local stores are best. There's no local stores near me that carry my litter, so I kind of have to go to one of the bigger ones. I don't really have a choice. So I try to at least go to Petco. So I'm going somewhere that's not working with Banfield. So that's what I do.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you wanna know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you wanna know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your